Hey there, bring it in close here. I want to talk for just a second. Are you considering making a move to Queen Creek, Arizona? Well, if so, this video's for you. Why? Because I'm going to give you 7 reasons that you may end up hating it here. Hi and welcome back. My name is John Ferrin and I'm a realtor with HomeSmart Lifestyles right here in Queen Creek, Arizona. And on this channel, I teach you everything you need to know about relocating to the Queen Creek area. Now stick around for my 7 reasons that you may not like living here, and believe me, you're not going to believe what the number 1 reason is. Alright, let's get started. Number 7. If you like the hustle and bustle of the big city with the subway sounds and the fire truck sirens and the buses and all the noise that goes along with that, well, you're not going to like Queen Creek. Even before Arizona was made a state in 1912, there was already a community here. The residents who lived here back then established traditions of neighborliness and rural fun, and those traditions continue today. Now, if you talk to some of the old-timers, they remember street dances, dips in the swimming holes, and sleeping under the stars during the summer. The post office, the general store, and the local church were the community gathering places, and those traditions also remain today. Queen Creek works hard to maintain its small town feel with its parks, splash pads, food truck Fridays, the ice cream socials, and the community pancake breakfasts. Oh yeah, and how about those open houses put on by the fire department each year? In spite of all of its recent growth, Queen Creek does not have that hustle and bustle of the big city. So if that's what you're looking for, Queen Creek still has its small town atmosphere. Number 6. If public transportation is your thing and you like taking the bus into work or the light rail, well, you may not like living in Queen Creek. There just simply isn't any public transportation here. Light rail ends in Mesa and the buses only go out as far as Gilbert. Now, there are park-in rides which you can drive to in those cities and then catch the public transportation, but there's nothing here in Queen Creek just yet. Hopefully in the future, public transportation will migrate out to Queen Creek. Number 5. If you don't like summer thunderstorms, well, then you may not be happy living in Queen Creek. Our monsoon season rolls in around July and it brings with it thunder, lightning, rain, dust, and haboobs. That's right, I said haboobs. Now, what is a haboob? Let me explain. Haboob is simply just another word for dust storm. It's the Arabic word for blowing. Dust storms are some of the most dramatic weather effects that we'll see here in the valley. Haboobs are giant walls of dust, and they're created from high winds rushing out of a collapsing thunderstorm. The cold air in front of that storm, it rushes down at an incredible rate, and by doing so, it picks up massive amounts of dust and sand and it blows them up into the air. As the dust storm builds, it can completely block out the sun, making it nearly impossible to see, even just a few feet in front of you. The wall of dust typically reaches heights between 1,500 and 3,000 feet, and it can stretch as far as 100 miles wide. To put that into perspective, that's the difference between Phoenix and Tucson. Now, in reality, these things are not near as scary as they look and sound. Really, just have your leaf blower ready to blow all the dust off the patios once it's over with, and it's always a good idea to keep your pool cleaner on speed dial. Number 4. If you like those big, gigantic airports where you have to ride buses and trams to get from terminal to terminal and there's constant air traffic in and out, well, you're probably not going to be happy living in Queen Creek. Queen Creek doesn't even have an airport. The closest airport is Williams Gateway, which is in Mesa, just across the border. Now, the Gateway Airport hosts about 45 different properties on site, and you can get nonstop flights to about 45 different cities on some of the regional carriers such as Allegiant, Swoop, and WestJet. Most of the other flights in and out of Gateway are corporate flights, military, training, and cargo flights. Now, if you want to fly out of Arizona on some of the larger carriers with a lot more destinations to choose from, then you're going to have to go to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, which is in Phoenix, about 35 miles away. But you're in luck. It's huge and it has buses and trams. All right, guys, how are we doing? We're getting closer to the end and things just keep getting better. Number 3, let's talk about property taxes. If you love paying exorbitant amounts of property taxes, then you may not be too happy living in Queen Creek. Queen Creek property taxes range anywhere from $2,000 to maybe $4,000 a year, depending on the size and value of your home. Now, I worked with a client a couple years ago who was moving from New York to Queen Creek. His taxes in New York were over $20,000 a year in property taxes. I don't even get that. That just makes my head want to explode. So, if you don't like saving money on property taxes, you probably shouldn't come here. But you know what? I got a great referral network, and I'll hook you up with an agent in New York. Number 2 on our list, if you do not like hiking, biking, swimming, boating, playing in the parks, and tons of other outdoor activities, well, then you probably aren't going to like living in Queen Creek. With places like Saguaro and Canyon Lakes nearby, and of course the Salt River for picnicking and tubing, you're probably going to find yourself just being miserable. And how about the Santan Regional Park? This is a state park that is huge, and it is an excellent spot for hiking and getting out in the outdoors. Add in the town splash pad, Mansell Carter Park with all of its amenities, and of course, Queen Creek Parks and Recreation and all of their activities will probably all just get under your skin and make you wish you'd never thought of coming to Queen Creek. All right, folks, here we are at number 1, the one you've been waiting for and the one I told you you're just not even going to believe. Now, if you want to come to Queen Creek and remain anonymous and just live in your own little world, that's probably not going to happen here. Queen Creek residents are some of the friendliest people you'll ever find. It all goes back to that small town atmosphere. Now, if you're walking through your neighborhood with your dog, you're going to make a whole lot of new friends as people wave at you and stop to chat. Driving through the neighborhood in your car, be prepared for the neighbors to wave. You're going to turn to whoever's with you and go, "Who in the heck was that?" It's a little creepy at first. You're like, "Why are you waving at me? I don't even know you." But after a while, it becomes a way of life, and it'll become a way of life for you too. So there you have 7 reasons that you might just absolutely hate living in Queen Creek. Now, if you want to see my list of pros and a couple of cons of living in Queen Creek, check out this video right up here. In it, I give you 5 reasons I love living in Queen Creek, and I throw in 3 little things that are kind of annoying, but no big deal. So, come with me, let's go check out the next video.